Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Full Moon Wednesday, August 30th. We're just coming on 6 a.m. on the East Coast over there, and today is ADP at 8:15 and GDP estimate. Not actual, but the estimate at 8:30 in the morning. You got crude oil at 10:30, and that's pretty much your headlines for today. I will make it very aware that ADP, it has come in really hot many times, but because the main jobs report is on your Friday on your non-farm payroll, the ADP report today is not something to overreact to, regardless if it's bigger or smaller. News just hit right here. The PBOC will steer more financial resources to private firms. Report cited by Securities Times. China's your black swan, but yesterday we did gap down. Believe it or not, we did gap down. We gapped down 56 cents, not even a point. And when we talk about algos, this is your algo day. And these algo days are going to hit 20, 30 times in a year. Now, you sit back and you hear a number like that 20, 30 times. Well, I will bring it to your attention, right? We're in trading session number 265, or 165, apologies. We're in trading session 165, and we are going to trade until trading session number 252. You get 252 trading sessions in a year. So you are going to get these 20, 30 times in a year. They come out randomly, and if you're on the right side of them, already in a trade, you love them. If you weren't in a trade and you're jumping in on the right side because your technical setups are there, you're loving them. But what I saw yesterday was a lot of overcommitment on the short side in terms of bearish calls on the spreads. And that never works out well. And I will, again, not looking to do anything except just share the whole thing. In the weekend email, spoke about how we are looking for that upside move. We are oversold, looking for 44.72, 44.79. If we break 44.50, we got 4,500 yesterday. Again, just scrolling through to bring you in. Again, you've got your full moon. Your full moon is happening tomorrow, today or tomorrow, one of the two. And bringing into your September data. And we want to see a bounce this week for 44.50, 44.70, 446, 448, 372, 375. We got the 372, 375 on QQQ. We got the 446, 448 on SPY. We got the 44.50, 44.70 on SPX. We got it all in one day. And again, pointing out those September 1 QQQ 367 calls, why they were worth it to do. The creds, they got the credit, the spreads yesterday, the credit spreads got beat up. But again, if you go through that whole listening pattern of the weekend email, how I continued to just point out that this is not a week that you want to be overcommitted and overpositioned. We are looking for that 44.55, 44.75 to get our top on the full moon. Pointed this out on Monday. I also pointed out there on Monday about the NEO earnings coming out. Scrolling on down and looking for Tesla to be up there into that 258 area. It's not going to pass 270s, but it's definitely heading up there to the 258s. It's a good place to play. Well, I'm going to show you here. And yeah, Tesla missed it by 23 cents right there at the end of the day yesterday. So you got your Tesla. Tesla worked itself out. And we can move that out of the way back onto its home screen. So, again, you're going to take your time and relax today because, again, having shared what we were looking at there with all of these gap ups, you had all your gap ups, boom, 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 longest streak that you had. This is going back into December of 2020, 2021. Right there at the end of the year where you were having the 7 gap ups in a row. Now, yesterday was red. It was not a gap up. But highlighting to you here how you're in the topping pattern. And then boom, come in there after the holiday, and hit that top, and you know what happened since then. So really what I'm pointing out here on that is, where are we looking? We'll go here. Your VIX. Headline on your weekend email, the VIX 1542. We lost 1542 there on Monday afternoon. And yesterday we came right down to our lower gap, our gap that was created back at the very beginning of August when this drawdown started. And it held it pretty well, that 1451. Now, there is obviously going to be a lot of work that needs to be taking place, but again, it is Wednesday. It's the full moon. You have jobs on Friday, and you have the 3-day weekend. So, in no way, shape, or form expecting there to be a dramatic move to the downside. Bring it here onto QQQ, because I'm going to go back to the emails on this. QQQ, what we had pointed out from prior into last week, what we were looking for, and they had that 374.95, 375.14. We came fractionally up to it for a good ABC and then had our drop down. Came right back to that yesterday, right back to it. And what I've got drawn out here is your 23.6 retracement down, which obviously takes out that high. You break down below 371 and you are starting to put your nails in the coffin that the QQQ is finished. So bring you back over to the emails, and again, shared yesterday that the re-entry, having already traded this and gotten 100% off of it, to the September 22-29 QQQ 365 puts can slowly begin. The emphasis on slowly because we have jobs and we have the 3-day weekend. So, not expecting any kind of dramatic moves on the bigger, wider picture. Definitely short term. All we need is a small retrace back down below 370, and you'll make 50-80% on these, maybe even 100. Now, these are the 365s when I sent out the email. They were trading at 480, and the September 29s were trading at 568. Bring you over. Where are we? Here we are. Now, the September 22 365s closed at 327. The September 29 365 closed at 397. Now, I want you to sit here and understand this, okay? For an extra 70 cents, you get an extra week. You get my birthday, September 29th. You get the week where I may or may not have access to everything because of having that move take place. Having that the QQQ has made it up here to 375, you have an advantage to look into where you could get into the September 22 370 puts. They are at 462 as of the close on yesterday. It's about $1.40 difference, and you've got 5 points in between there. So you got a $3.40 advantage on that minimum. And here's your September 29 370s. They're at 540 as of the close yesterday. About $1.40 more than these, and you are 5 points more protected, closer to the money. So it's definitely something that if you are going to continue to add, or you have not made a position on this, that you want to take into consideration, because you have a algo day right here, explosion, very clean looking ABC. You have that same very clean looking ABC over here on the SPY, 433, right up there to your 440. What was it? 446 down to 435. 100 extension ABC, perfectly done. You take out, okay, you take out 446. You start to put little nails into the coffin heading into September. SPX, or we're looking at the ES, the exact same thing. You had your move up, had your move down, and bam, you're right here at the 100 extension. A drop down to the 23.6 extension, 23.6 retracement would take out your prior high and start negating any kind of bullishness on this. Now, since we're going to be dropping and dragging, I'm just going to drag my left screen over. I missed it. Drop my left screen over, and what I'm looking to show you here is your 4 hour. Here's your Dow Jones 4 hour. Not being the power that it was when we were in July going into that top. It's more of a supporting character now, having moved all the way back in through all of that it fell off from July. But here's your SPX, and your SPX 4 hour is pegged up here into the 90s. This is what you want. That's what you want to see when you start planting seeds and building your garden out there on the short side, going out 2, 3, 4 weeks or further. And here's your NDX. Your NDX is virtually identical, right up there at a very, very close resemblance to overbought, up at 89 over here on the 4 hour chart. So you have a lot to your advantage if you do want to go out there and start planting your seeds to go into September. Now, what I want to bring into your attention to make sure that everybody knows, and we'll look over the QQQ real quick. QQQ Algo Day, minus 20-cent gap, 9-point range, 9 points, how they ran that algo. 2.28% highs of the day, 375.13. And you look back and you see your 370.47, 370.17, 370.22, 372.74, 375. So losing 370 is clearly right in front of your face to let you know that something could be very well a problem. I want to zoom you out here again to show you had a green week last week. 44.26 is where this weekly candle is, and a close above 44.26 will give you 2 green weeks. This shaded area here, that's your OPEX. All right? And your OPEX is going to be taking place on September 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's your OPEX week. On September 12th, Apple is having their iPhone event. On September 12th or 13th, I don't remember the date, you have CPI. On September 15th, you have quadruple witching OPEX. Quad OPEX, June, completely insane. We were going green, 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 green all the way through. What you start to notice on your OPEX is, again, June 2022, March 2022, you need to remember where you were. You start to see here how every Friday of OPEX, quad OPEX, is red. So you want to have that date scheduled right there. You want to have that September 15th date already put in, not in pencil, but in permanent marker, that on that Thursday, prior to the close, you want to be ready to be getting into a trade for OPEX Friday. Now, I don't have it in front of me, but I will go and find it for you. We do have an FOMC meeting during the month of September. So again, with the FOMC meeting coming up, even though these have started to kind of become boring since we lost out on these 100-point ranges, you have your CPI report coming, and you have your quad OPEX, and you have September, and you have your full moon. So everything's there on the table. Where I want to now really make an emphasis for everyone to look at is that is your big week. Your big week is going to be right there, September 11, 12, 13, and 14. Next week, don't know. Full moon's already going to be here. Full moon's going to be here tonight. How we wind up with this big 11, 12, 13, 14, September data, everything else already lines itself up. So we will show you here on a wider zoomed out point of view, which I think I already have set on one of these clean ones. Live? No, clean. We broke down through that channel, and now we have our move to the downside. So your ABC, right to the 50 retracement, a little bit higher. Breaking back down, back into the channel, unlikely because these things don't always rhyme. But you are definitely looking at yourself here where you could be coming down and riding the upper portion of this channel at a bare minimum in the very near future. So looking for a green week this week, not looking for a sell-off, but definitely looking to start planting those seeds going further and further out, expecting September to be one of those months that you remember. Happy Full Moon Wednesday. See you guys in the chat room.